What if I told you Nikon cameras have a little function hidden inside of them that's never been explained very well? The documentation doesn't go into much detail, but it could actually make your video and JPEG output significantly better. We're going to talk about Nikon Active D Lighting today. Right now, Active D Lighting is turned off as I'm filming this video, and now it's turned on to its maximum value. Can you tell a difference? Let's get into it. Hey everybody, Scott here. Today we're talking about a setting that's buried in Nikon cameras. It's been there since the DSLR days, and it's called Active D Lighting. And what this thing does is it actively delights you. Now, that's not what it does at all, unless you just have a very low threshold for being delighted, I guess. What it's doing is, across a spectrum of settings, it's going to raise shadows and push highlights down for you. It's going to lower contrast, brighten your image. This is mostly for Nikon JPEG shooters. This is a really powerful tool to add to JPEG recipes, to the new imaging cloud recipes that Nikon's coming out with. And it's sort of an analog to Fuji's DR200, DR400 feature, if you've ever used that. I think Fuji did a little bit better job implementing it, but we're gonna walk through the Nikon stuff really quick. I wanna get you in and out, teach you all about this thing. You're gonna know way more about it when you're done here. You're gonna be the guy telling people on the internet that they're wrong when they say the wrong thing about this feature, because everybody's wrong about this feature, okay? So number one, what is it? What does it do? Well, there is a setting of off, there's a setting of auto, and then there's low, normal, high, and extra high. Every step that you take from low to extra high is going to do a few things. It's going to lower the contrast of your image. It's going to brighten the image because it's raising the shadows and it's pushing the highlights down. But it's raising the shadows a little bit more than it's pushing the highlights down in general. So we can generalize that a low shot versus an extra high shot maybe looks like a quarter to a half stop difference in terms of overall exposure. This is great if you use it in a situation where you have a really harsh tonal transition. It's really bright highlights right here, and it's really dark shadows right here. And normally, you know how a digital picture looks in that situation. This part's gonna be blown out, this part's gonna be black as night, and it just has a really crunchy digital look to it. If we apply Active D Lighting in this scenario, we get something that has almost a more filmic roll-off of that highlight. The highlight won't be this white patch. It'll be a more subdued, faded, almost beige patch that isn't a hot spot anymore. So it's for JPEG shooters. It's for JPEG shooters who are shooting in high contrast situations and who want a little bit better fall off and tonal transition between light and dark. Okay, that part's simple. Not all of us shoot in JPEG. A lot of us shoot RAW only. Some of us shoot RAW plus JPEG. Where does that leave us? Okay, so there's a couple of myths out there. One myth is that this setting does not affect your RAW files. Wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. It does affect your RAW files, just not in the way you think, okay? So if you shoot RAW plus JPEG, your JPEGs are going to look as I described, but your RAW files actually, when you bring them into Lightroom, they're gonna have somewhat of an opposite effect applied to them. They're going to get darker the higher the setting goes. And so if you're a primarily RAW shooter, you need to understand that, and honestly, this feature is probably not for you. If you are a primarily JPEG shooter, you should definitely look at this feature. Consider leaving it on auto, consider leaving it on normal. You know, on a Fuji, I leave DR400 on all the time for my JPEG output. That's about equivalent to the high setting on a Nikon. Again, I don't know that I would ever use the extra high setting. So I could talk about this all day. It would be a lot easier to show you. So I've got 3 scenarios here that we're gonna walk through. I shot from off, low, normal, high, extra high, and then auto. And we're gonna look to see how those settings change a particular scene. We have 3 different scenes. And in one of those scenes, I actually took the raw output, exported it just to JPEGs, so you can see what the raw files look like and how that sort of reverse thing that I was telling you works. How the images tend to get darker the more that the effect is applied when looking at a raw file. So let's dive into it. You're about to know a lot more than you knew 5 minutes ago. So let's start with video. Firstly, there's no auto setting in video. It's either off or it's low through extra high. Right here, this is off. You can see my face is partially obscured by shadows from the branches. My eyes are a little bit dark, but overall the scene is lit pretty well, and I'm not sure we even need it. But we turn on extra high, all of a sudden it looks like a face filter has been applied. My eyes are super bright, but my face is more evenly exposed, although it looks a little HDR fake. So I just wanted to show you guys a huge difference between off and extra high. And as usual, the good balance is somewhere in the middle. Now for stills. We'll start with off. It's a pretty high contrast scene. Here we have low, normal, high, extra high, and auto, and a little montage here running rapidly through so you can see the change. Here we got off, low, normal, high, extra high, followed by auto, with a little montage. And now a really harsh transition. So this is off, low, normal, high, and extra high with an auto at the end and a little montage. So again, this is off, normal, extra high, off, normal, and extra high, off, normal, and extra high. And here are the raws. So we'll start with off, low, normal, high, extra high. Look how dark that is. And then auto, so blown out. Here's your montage getting darker and darker as we progress through the raw files. So again, that's off, normal, and extra high. There you go. Short, concise, definitive video on the internet about Nikon Active D Lighting. Send this to a friend who shoots Nikon. The more people that know about this, the better. And the more people that are playing with it, the more feedback we can give to Nikon about how to improve it moving forward. As far as I can tell, this feature has been largely untouched since the DSLR days, and I would love to see raw files behave in the same way if Nikon can figure out how to do that. That would be really flexible for us. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you learned something today. Like the video if you like it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I do not care if you do not. More power to you. Until the next video, Scott here. We'll see you.